Alright, we're going to show you what I did here with the relay system on the aux channels. You got two channels on here. You could either have them send so they short out, or you can have them send a 12-volt signal. So to have them send is a 12-volt signal to one of these wired inside of here. But ultimately what I'm going to do is I'm going to take two of these, and the reason I want to take two in case one goes out, because I don't want to have one go out and not hear the alarm go off. But until I get a battery disconnect, what I'll have done is I'll wire two of these up and put them up through the walls and say right underneath my thermostat in my living room, so they're centrally located. Like I said, wire two of them in case one goes out. But here's how it works, and I got one inside the box wired in. I haven't ran the wires yet, but to get an idea what happens here. So I already have it all set up here, but let me show you. If we go to aux 1, I got a low battery disconnect. So when it hits my desired voltage, I'll hit setup and hit volts. Now I have it set so when it hits 13.9 volts, it'll click off. When it hits above 14, it'll click back on. Now another thing I want to do is I can set the time, and this is in seconds. So what we'll do is we'll do a 2-second delay to stay on when it hits the low voltage, and a 4-second delay to turn back off after it hits the desired on voltage, if that made sense. We'll hit enter. We'll go ahead back out to the main menu, hit status. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a load on the battery bank right here, and once you'll notice that voltage right now is at its peak voltage of 14.4 volts at absorb. We'll go ahead and throw a dehumidifier and a box fan on. It should give it about a 4. Now there it goes. Now it's already at its voltage alarm, but it's going to have a 2-second delay here. Now there's the beep at the alarm. So now that would basically be buzzing upstairs. So I would know that I'm at, say, a dangerous voltage. Now I'm going to turn it off, and it'll still beep until, well, here's what's going to happen. When it hits the 14 volts, it'll still be going off for 4 seconds. 14 volts. Actually, that didn't work as planned. Essentially what that timer part's supposed to do is, let's say I'm running a battery disconnect. You don't want the battery disconnect turn off, on every time it does a load. So you do that delay on there for, say, a motor startup on a well pump or something. But, well, you get the idea here. I'm going to hook up two of those alarms in my living room area, and that'll give me a very conservative voltage setting, so that this battery bank here that I have set up is not ever going to go below a point. And then later on this week, I'll be running a battery disconnect set for just lower than the voltage that the alarm is set. So I'll basically have time before the house turns off the power, or before I run it back onto the grid mode. So there you go. There's how you set up auxiliary channel on a classic Midnite Classic charge controller. Now I have two channels on here, and I have another classic here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the battery disconnect off of this one, and my battery alarm off of this one. Now, I know they have a speaker in here. I should probably look up. They probably got an alarm I can use for that too, but I don't want to remotely place these upstairs. I just want to run the little piezo alarm. So there you go. Thanks for watching.